the man, he's the myth, he's the legend, he's the scientist with all the answers to all the questions. It's time for another episode of Alex's Science Corner.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. No. Wow, and the foot stomping. Thank you.
What's going on in the wide world of science?
Yeah,
my
we
friend?
got no preview this week. I was disappointed.
Were you not here a couple minutes ago?
She was not listening.
No, I was not. No, I mean in the email. You didn't email.
No, but it's the Nobel Prizes.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
So, today I'm talking about the 2019 Ig Nobel Prizes, which were awarded on September 12th. And now these are for actual science papers. And they give a bunch of these prizes. The first prize was given to, or the medicine prize was given to several researchers from Italy and the Netherlands for collecting evidence that pizza might protect against illness and death if the pizza is made and eaten in Italy.
Your mic's off now. You're out. I don't have a problem with that. I think eating pizza in Italy is good for the mind, good for the body.
Good for the soul.
Next up is Medical Education Prize for these two researchers for using a simple animal training technique called the clicker training to train surgeons to perform orthopedic surgery. So I actually looked this one up.
Surgeons.
What it is, yes. What it is when the surgeons would perform a task properly, they did two groups. One group, they said, that was good. You did a good job doing that particular technique. The second group, they had a little clicker. So when the surgeon did the task correctly, you heard a click, click. And the surgeons who were listening for the click, click did better than the surgeons that were told that they were doing the job correctly.
And
that was the research. And it was an animal training technique.
That's what I was thinking, Pavlov's dog or something.
Exactly, yes. So
ring the bell, and you get food. There you go.
But
there he goes.
You got the click because you did it right. Yeah. So the biology prize was given to several researchers from Singapore, China, Germany, Australia, Poland, and Bulgaria for discovering that dead magnetized cockroaches behave differently than living magnetized cockroaches.
I wonder how much money was spent on that. Probably way too much.
The next one was the anatomy.
Wait a minute. Go back to that a second.
Okay.
How did you go into some
No,
of
I
these?
didn't read that one.
That one you didn't read.
That could be your homework assignment, Bobby.
Yes. And all these links will be available through the YouTube channel and through the Facebook page. The anatomy prize was given to some researchers from France for measuring scrotal temperature asymmetry in naked and clothed postmen in France.
Interesting.
Postman.
Yes. And they're measuring the asymmetry of the temperatures. So
a lot of friction going on when you're
I was
delivering
going to say, I
versus
wonder
non-clothed.
how many of them live? How many deliver mail? And
Okay, so all of them were
in the raw.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking in the neighborhoods where there are women that don't work.
Next up is the chemistry prize for several researchers in Japan for estimating the total saliva volume produced per day by a typical 5-year-old child.
I bet you it's a hell of a lot.
Engineering prize to a researcher in Iran for inventing a diaper changing machine for use on human infants. The economics.
Now wait a minute, that one I kind of like. So you got a machine that's changing the diaper of the baby, so you don't have to.
Yeah,
but what the baby's squirming,
Babies that's what makes it an engineering challenge.
Babies don't usually just sit still.
No,
while you're changing them.
No, they don't. And sometimes they relieve themselves while you're changing them too.
Projectile.
And you've got to make sure you put the diaper on the correct end too.
This is true.
Economics prize was given to several researchers from Turkey and the Netherlands and Germany for testing which country's paper money is best at transmitting dangerous bacteria.
And the winner was?
There was they didn't.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
didn't
come
need
on. That
No,
would
no,
have been
the-
would have been a good one to.
the-
And
the-
actually, do we want people to know that? Because
Yeah,
you know.
I
Yes,
do.
yes.
I want to know.
Yeah.
Well, for safety reasons, and at the same time, somebody who's wanting to do.
Well, that's why they did the research.
I
That's what
bet.
this
I
is
bet
about.
you U.S. money has the most cocaine on it.
I think you're right.
So next up is the Peace Prize for several researchers for trying to measure the pleasurability of scratching an itch.
Depends on what her name is.
Ooh.
The Psychology
That was good.
Prize was given to several researchers in Germany for discovering that holding a pen in one's mouth makes one smile, which makes one happier. And then for discovering
You
that
sure?
it does not.
You sure it's just a pen?
Well, there's a theory in psychology that if you
Yeah, but it's-
smile, you are going to be happier because you're smiling. Because if you're happy, you smile. But if you smile, then you become happy. And so,
When you
if
say
you have,
you're...
yeah. So anyway, they found out they did the study, and if you smile, it makes you happier. And then they tried it again and found out it didn't. So that
So
was
they couldn't repeat the.
same
they
researchers.
Yeah, they couldn't repeat the results.
And finally, the Physics Prize to several researchers from Taiwan, Australia, and New Zealand for studying how and why wombats make cube-shaped poo.
Do they really? I think that's fascinating. They make cube-shaped poo.
Maybe it's the size of their rectum or the way it's shaped.
Well, it'd have to be, that's not normally the way bodies function, but
I don't
that's
know.
why they did the study.
I don't know.
Morning.
That's
Why is that happening?
Is it important?
There's a paper that was done on it.
And they were provided with money, probably.
So,
to
so
write
it doesn't have to do with where they're doing the poo. That's shaping it as it's coming out. It has to do with it's coming out as a cube.
Correct. Yes, that's why there is a study on it.
Okay.
So it's hey, you know what? You learn stuff.
Yeah, that's.
And there's some questions that you didn't know that you wanted an answer to, and now you've learned somebody did a study about those kind of questions.
Now I've got a question for you regarding
Okay.
these awards. Do the people giving the awards go out and find the research, or do people who are doing the research submit the?
It's a combination of two things, because usually people in the field are going to be doing, are reading these various papers and other things, and so
submit
while
the-
they're right, and so they will let the staff know that here's an interesting paper that you may want to put in, and then they pick about 10 prizes or 10 of these unusual papers of the tens of thousands of papers that are produced yearly. No, there's actually more. There's one. I remember one physicist was saying that just in physics alone, there are about 10,000 papers produced a year.
Who's got time
So-
to read those?
You got to read it if you're in that field.
Well, yeah, but there's sub genres in the field.
Yes.
So I would think
And some
somebody
are
in
not read.
physics is not going to read all 10,000. They're going
Correct.
to focus on
Correct.
whatever somebody's
Correct.
focusing on.
Correct.
And they're-
You're gonna read the specialties of your subfield.
yeah.
And so when you've got all these subfields, and it's just,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So on Alex's Science Corner on YouTube, there's links to all of these stories, correct?
yeah, well, I mean, this week
When-
there's just
when
going
you
to be the
put it-
one.
yeah,
Just
when
going
you-
to be the one, yeah.
Right.
And when you put the link to the one, there's embedded in that story the
Yes.
link
Right.
to the rest of them.
Okay. All right. If you have any questions about these stories or anything else science related, Alex would love to take your questions right now at 203
837
99
24.